All right, I officially call this meeting of the Winston-Salem College Advisory Board to order at 1:30 p.m. Thank you all for being here today. Um, who would like to step in and take the roll call in our secretary's absence?
I'll do that. Taylor Davis, I believe is excused. Layla Johnson is excused. Jordan Moore is excused. Jacob Taylor,
Present.
Jeremiah Washington, I haven't heard anything. Uh, Trey Maza,
Present.
Jacob Burnett is excused. Joella Clearly is excused. Sky Sykes,
Present.
and then Nanu Pardo is excused.
All right, thank you. Everyone was sent the minutes from March the 10th. Are there any corrections or changes that anyone would like to propose to the minutes?
Did you all have time to read it? And I want to emphasize that because I know I sent it late. So if you didn't, I want to give space for that. And if you did, and like Jacob said, we can move on. Everybody have time to read it prior?
I did, yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right, if there's no motion, if there's no changes, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion to approve.
The motion has been properly motioned. Is there a second?
I second.
The motion has been properly seconded. All right. Next, I guess we can jump right into our project and our presentation planning. So, Colbert, would you like to speak a little bit about the technique that you were referring to a little earlier about?
Yep. I'm gonna pull up a few things. I'm gonna talk to you all about some things that I caught, ways we can synthesize the data, some information and things of that nature. So first and foremost, because we don't have quorum, we can't vote and come to an agreement as far as having the project presented on April 14th. So because of that, most likely the only other option is May. And so I'm going to find out the date that we'll have it for May. And then I'll let you all know. And that's going to have to be the final date because we didn't have enough time to approve it for April. That said, that's going to give us a good amount of time for the information to be not only just circulated as far as what's going to be sent via email, but for you all to know exactly what is in the information. And so, yes, Sky.
I don't know if you had like I know you don't have an exact date, but like a early May, middle May situation
Early May
because my
is going to be early or middle May.
okay, if it's middle May, I'm going to be home because our last day of school is May.
Mhm.
I go home May 4th
Okay.
or 3rd, one of
Yeah.
those days.
And that's where I would say my inexperience didn't catch that earlier because that's why I was trying to do it in April. As far as like, because I knew finals were coming in May, it's going to be maybe a little harder for everybody to go because of classes. However, I'm going to see if there's a remote option, but either way, I know that there's people who are in cab who live within the area. And so I'm hoping that if we give everybody enough time as far as the date, I can figure out kind of remote options if needed. And then if somebody could be a representative for cab. Now, if somebody is a representative or we have people, I will work with those people to ensure that they understand the information. And as we have these last two meetings in April, that you all will be aware from top to bottom the information that will be within the project. And so, like, even if you're home and you're not there, you're not able to be there, Sky, you will know what's being presented. Yep. So I'm gonna share my screen and present two things. I'm gonna do it one by one though. Okay. Okay, do you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was the five social determinant factors that we had. This was minute meeting minutes on February 3rd, and we had the five. Now, for the economic stability, this is going to be Jacob Taylor, and Layla. when I was looking at the information that I do have from you all, because I believe I have everybody's like content information outside of Jordan and Jeremiah. I believe to make this project a little easier, um, Trey and Jacob Burnett's section can combine with Taylor's section, Taylor Davis section, because in your section, Trey, you do have an aspect of healthcare, and healthcare would tie in better with neighborhoods. So instead of five of it, it can be four. So that would synthesize the information a lot better. And so that's a recommendation I have as well. One of the things that I do want you all to do is to and I'll put this in the minutes. I want you all to go back to your presentations, and I want you all to highlight specifically what you all see is like critical that you all want in the presentation, so that as I'm developing the presentation, and I'm putting everything together, I'm making sure that I'm speaking to what you all want to emphasize. All right, if that makes sense to everybody. So in your presentations, I want you all to go back. So by April 14th, that meeting, I should know for each social determinant what specifically you all want in this project. Okay. So, because that will make it a lot easier to synthesize. One of the things I also want to say, I know Jacob, prior, you spoke to me about, not overwhelming the city council with all this information. And I think that's a good idea. Now, they said that I was informed that you all will have between 5 to 7 minutes to present. So my thought process is always to do it within 5 minutes, right? Those 2 extra minutes just in case, but I wouldn't rely on those 2 extra minutes. One of the things that I want to emphasize is that regardless of what is presented, the information can and will be sent to them, right? So even within those 5 minutes, because honestly, within those 5 minutes, they're not going to understand this project like you all, because you all have been working on this for months. So they're going to need information afterwards, regardless, so I'm going to present the information, do my best to present the information before and after, so they can have everything readily available, right? And so the city council meetings are also recorded. So just like we record these meetings, they can go back and see it if need be. And so what I'm gonna do, I want to create like a 5 to 7 minute PowerPoint presentation. So for the day that will when you all present, whoever is presenting or the group of people that's presenting, but I also want to give them the bulk of the information that you all have given them. Because when we look at the work that you all have done with everybody's side of the project, it's a lot of good information. And I don't want that to be unnoticed or unseen, right? And so I'm gonna do my best. Like when it comes to the bulk of the information, I'll like put all that in a PowerPoint presentation, but I'll also put like the information that you all have. But I also want to create like a 5 to 7 minute PowerPoint presentation that you all would present. What do you all think based off that? How does that sound?
I think that sounds great. I mean, I think so long as we explicitly mention that we're doing a brief overview of each pillar of the plan and that further context and guidance can be provided in an additional, slide deck, if you will. And I think it's really important for the formatting of both presentations to parallel each other as best as possible, so that we're not questioning what concept was introduced in the 5 minute presentation and matching it with what we find in the extensive literature, if you will. So I think keeping the slide order the same and then just adding more, or if it's not in a slide presentation format and it's just written, we would use the same headlines, the same subtext, just so that everybody can mentally recall this is where the presentation was, and this is now what I'm reading about would be helpful. But I do sincerely agree that paring it down to a digestible, concise 30,000 foot view is important.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I'll keep that in mind as far as how that information would be calculated. My mind, I'm going to do my best to work backwards. So do the hard part and the bulk of it first. And then once that is done, if I synthesize it, I'm only synthesizing it from the bulk of the information that we've gathered and collected. And so I'm going to do my best to work backwards. And then like, as we're in the 2 meetings that we have in April, you all will be able to see that information before it's presented, right? So there's recommendations that you all can give. There's added notes and suggestions. So things of that nature. Jacob and Sky, do you all have any input as far as that idea?
I like the idea. I have nothing extra to add, but I like it.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. That's good. And then this is also what I wanted to show you all. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. Okay. Now, you all have seen me create PowerPoints. When you all first came to CAB, I always had a PowerPoint presentation because I believe in visuals. And so this is not a representation of what would be presented, but I'm going to give you all an idea of what I'm thinking, and then you all let me know. And so instead of six, I know that there's going to be four, right? Or I'm recommending four to y'all based off how we have synthesized the information. And that would be considered the table of contents, right? Like this is just the four things, but also then we're going to have a suggestion, right? As far as what we're going to ask the city council for. And so as we combine these things, I wanted to speak to you, Trey and Jacob Burnett specifically, because you all had a lot of geographic statistics, right? A lot of maps. And I believe Sky, you and Joella had some. I could be wrong. Yeah. And so this is where my mind goes for Jacob Burnett and Trey. You all had about like five or six of them. Do I have it up? I don't. But you all have like five or six of them. So my suggestion would be to use one or two for the PowerPoint presentation. But then within the bulk of the information, I can just present to them your findings when with the Word document and the PDF. How does that sound?
Yeah, I mean, I think for both our section and Sky's section, just maybe putting the most important or the most wide impacting maps and geographic information as the top two, and then just saying like for further context and information, you can see the other three. Just putting whatever is of greater consequence on the forefront.
Okay, that makes sense. Sky, how does that sound for you?
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Just so we can make sure everything's more condensed.
Right, right. Okay. And then I want to, for every section, I want to have a title section so you all know, like within this section, this is neighborhood and built environment. Within this section, this is economic stability to make it more like uniformed in this presentation. So that's pretty much my main suggestions, nothing drastic, but as a PowerPoint presentation, for it to be something like this, and then it just goes within information. Um, how does that sound as far as me giving this like a draft to you all on April 14th in our meeting? Good? Okay.
I like that.
Okay. And I know that based off schedules, some people won't be able to come, but we'll put that in the minutes and I'll definitely send it out when I send out the minutes as well. So that's my ideas that I wanted to kind of present to you all. And then I will like make that a reality by the April 14th meeting. Let me start sharing my screen. So for the project of it, one of the things I also wanted to touch on as well, something that you all brought up was like the findings, what you all are asking the city. And I want this to be something that you all think of. So we can start brainstorming now if you all want, as far as the findings, like what you all want to specifically suggest to the city, or you all can brainstorm it by the next meeting and send me an email. So either one works for me. What do you all think?
I had like what I had said at the beginning, um, that city council have a direct partnership with Frost.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would like to propose.
Okay. That's a good
Something
suggestion.
else that we learned when we worked with the Harm Reduction Collective was that there was a partnership of satisfactory means with the county, but not so much with the municipal government on the Winston-Salem level. I think
Mm-hmm.
another example of, advocacy and like facilitation work that we can do to link these initiatives and collectives into a greater awareness with the city government. If they haven't already established a relationship, find out what could be in their best interest. What's the incentive for the city to partner with these organizations? Not so much why haven't you already, but more
Mm-hmm.
so, here's what you can get out of it, and here's the benefit.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, Jacob, do you have anything? And it's okay if you don't, because this is like a just on the spot question. I just want to make sure you have space to speak.
Not necessarily, but
Mhm.
I'll give you time to think, and if something crosses my mind, I'll come back to you.
Great. And that's something that I'll put in the minutes too. I just want to put that in your minds now because I want you all to, with all the information, have specific requests for the city. So that they understand what you all are asking from them. So as far as the annual project presentation and my thoughts, that's all I have, Jacob.
All right, thank you. All right, so to our next order is our upcoming opportunities. Thank you for everyone who was able to attend the Narcane packaging party and the student banquet awards. I wasn't able to make it to the student banquet awards, but I hope it went well. So is there any upcoming opportunities that anyone would like to discuss or talk about, and we can share that with the rest of the council?
I put in when Nanu sent the email about the packing party, there was another date for a community cleanup. It's really last minute, but I know I put it in my calendar for tomorrow from 1 to 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the like actual location right now, but I'm pretty sure everything like that is in the email she sent. I think it was about like a month ago when she
Mm-hmm.
had sent the big thing.
Right. Yeah. And
So I
so
know that's there.
yeah, the optional community cleanup, that one is strictly voluntary. Like if you want to go, I know Nanu says that because Nanu helps them on her personal time, she's going to be there. So that's just an option for you all if you want to go. I know some people were there on March 15th for that. And then if you were not, and that's something you want to be a part of, and something that maybe even if you just want to see the person who is leading the cause, kind of what they do, learn more about them, that's an option for you all to attend as well. But yes, it would be tomorrow.
All right, thanks for that. Is there any other upcoming opportunities that anyone else would like to talk about?
So for specifically the Human Relations Department, we don't have anything coming up yet. I do want to thank Jeremiah and Jacob Burnett. They were at the Student Relations Banquet, and it was nice to have them there. They took pictures, so I'll send you all the pictures as well. So yeah, thank you all. And y'all have been doing a great job. So I continue to look forward to working with you all and with everything that we do.
Thank you. All right, so I guess we'll move on to our staff reminders. I guess that would classify as staff reminders, or if you'd like the floor again, you can have it.
Yeah, that's all I have for staff reminders. We don't
All
have any
right.
upcoming events coming up.
So I guess now we'll move on to opening the floor to any announcements, questions, suggestions, thoughts. All hearts and minds clear?
Oh, I don't know if y'all knew, but I'm president of my community service-based organization here at Salem Rotaract. And in April, we're doing a women's clothes drive. So if y'all know anybody, if y'all have any clothes, please just reach out to me and I'll be happy to like meet in the middle to collect them. But that's what I have.
All right, thank you. All right. Final call. Thoughts, comments? All right, I guess we're all clear. That wraps up our agenda for today. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
A motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I second.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you all for attending the meeting today, and I'll see you next time.
Thank y'all.
Colbert, just let us know whenever maybe before we meet, we can have like an email chain about what date works best so that we can have, foresight for that.
For the annual project presentation?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, we'll do.
Cool. Thanks,
Thank
y'all.
y'all.
All right, thank you.